Hi, my name is Anant. I welcome you to my YouTube channel 22 Yards, and if you like the content, then please press the subscribe button. आज मैं आपसे गुफ्तगू करूंगा दो आदमियों की जिनकी पैदाइश और उनकी परवरिश हैदराबाद की है। दोनों को सक्सेस और फेम और एक्सेप्टेंस हैदराबाद से बाहर मिली, इनफैक्ट इंडिया से बाहर मिली। The first person I'm going to talk to you is a chappie called Satya Nadella. Actually, he's not a chappie. Satya Nadella is the CEO of Microsoft. That's a $3 trillion company. He was born in 1967 to an IAS officer, and like the boys of privilege, was educated in a public school called Hyderabad Public School. He, by all accounts, loved his cricket and credits the development of his character and competitiveness to his early days of playing cricket. And he then, like many other young men of the 80s, chose to become an engineer, and thank God for that. He studied his engineering and, like again many other young men, went on to build a life in America. He did his MS there, he did his MBA there, he joined Sun Microsystems and then joined Microsoft, and as they say, the rest is history. Microsoft was not a loved company when he took it over, and the company went on to multiply its market value by 10 times under his leadership. And today he is one of the most celebrated CEOs in the world. Our heart swells with pride whenever we talk of Satya Nadella. The other Hyderabadi that I want to talk to you is Asif Iqbal. Asif Iqbal was born in 1943 in Hyderabad. He also came from a cricketing family. His uncle Ghulam Ahmed played for India with distinction, and in fact went on to represent India as captain of India in 3 test matches. Asif Iqbal is also related to the tennis star Sania Mirza. All the formative years of Asif Iqbal's cricket were spent in India, much like Satya Nadella. He was brought up in Hyderabad. He played domestic cricket, rubbed his shoulders with Indian cricketers, and one of the more interesting facts is that when Fazal Mahmood's touring 11 came to India in 1960-61, he represented South Zone against the Pakistani team. He got a respectable 26 runs and took 6 wickets in the game. But then his story starts to become different. In 1960-61, Asif Iqbal decided to migrate to Pakistan, and there also he started to play cricket. He was a very talented cricketer and was picked up by the Pakistani team in 1964. He put himself on the cricketing map in 1967 when batting at number 9 with Pakistan at 57 for 7. He got into a partnership with Intikhab Alam and scored 190 runs in the lost cause. This has to be his 146 runs of 200 odd balls, has to be one of the greatest innings ever played in the annals of Test cricket. He was promptly selected by Wisden as one of their cricketers of the year. He also got a contract from Kent and represented them meritoriously. Kent won the county championship while Asif Iqbal was playing there. He went on also to captain Kent in 1977. He played a huge role in the Packer series, drafting all the Pakistani players and put Pakistan into the Packer series. Again, one of the great victories of Pakistan was in 1976-77 against Australia, where Imran Khan destroyed Australia. But there is one more name you find on the team sheet with a major contribution, and that name was again Asif Iqbal. He scored a brilliant 120. In fact, in his career, he was one of the few batsmen of the time who scored 3 test hundreds in Australia. He got 100 in West Indies, he got hundreds in Pakistan, and he also got hundreds in New Zealand and England. So he really played with great distinction. He was also a bowler who in 56 matches or 58 test matches where he scored 3,600 odd runs, went on to score 12 hundreds and 11 50s. So he had a great conversion rate from 50s to hundreds. And the crowning glory of his career was that he captained Pakistan against India in India. There he was met by a young rampaging Kapil Dev, and Pakistan was to lose the series, and Asif Iqbal's career was to end there. But he did get a standing ovation from the crowd at Calcutta in his final test match. I have often wondered that why we celebrate Satya Nadella as our own and have forgotten Asif Iqbal as an Indian. Why we take so much pride in the achievements of Satya Nadella but not so much in the achievements of Asif Iqbal. I can understand the Indian point of view. Asif Iqbal was born in 1943 and India was partitioned in 1947 into 2 countries, India and Pakistan. India was based on the modern, secular, democratic idea where all its citizens, irrespective of caste, religion, creed, would have equal rights. Pakistan, on the other hand, took the turn to become a theocratic Islamic state with not equal rights for its citizens. It was a country for the Muslims, by the Muslims, and of the Muslims. So I think when Asif Iqbal decided to move in 1960-61 to Pakistan, he actually, in our minds, repudiated the core idea of India, that Hindus and Muslims, in spite of their differences, were one nation. An idea that was actually strengthened by the partition of Pakistan in 1970-71, when they broke up into two countries of Bangladesh, and what was West Pakistan became Pakistan as we see it today. This is evidenced by the fact that at the time of partition, the Indian Muslim population was 30 million. It has now grown to 200 million strong. Whereas in Pakistan, where 22% of the population was Hindu, today the population has been reduced to 1%. So by choosing Pakistan over India in 1960-61, and I would like to add, in spite of the advice of his uncle Ghulam Ahmad, who I had said earlier had played India with great distinction, Asif Iqbal chose to migrate to Pakistan. So in a way, he struck at the core of India. In this rejection of India and choice of Pakistan, or the acceptance of Pakistan, lies our grief. And so I guess we do right that we do not blame him. But then an idea lingers on in my head. Satya Nadella did go to US for a better life, for better opportunity. Asif Iqbal did go to Pakistan. But I look back to the 1970 Garam Hawa, a movie made by Bollywood. It starred the great Balraj Sahni and Farooq Sheikh, and tried to explore the insecurities in the minds of the young Muslims who had chosen to live in India. And it showed the flux that the minds of the Indian Muslim was in 1970. They did not know what their future would be. Would they be safe? Would they be successful? Or would they be discriminated again? And Pakistan was an economic miracle, a Southeast Asian economic miracle, or South Asian economic miracle in the 1960s. So maybe Asif Iqbal actually chose Pakistan just for a better life. If I look at his arc, he has always made those choices. He went from India to Pakistan for a better life, represented Pakistan. Then he went on and signed on in county cricket, became a star there, earned money there. When the Packer series came knocking on his door, Kerry Packer and Tony Gregg came knocking on his door, he immediately signed on, and in fact helped in signing all the Pakistani players onto the Packer series. And later on, he chose to make England his home. So I do not know whether his choice was based on religion or just on the idea that maybe he would have a better life in Pakistan. What can you expect from a young man of 18? His elder brother had already migrated in 1956. His father had died when he was 10 months old. So in my mind, I still believe that we can claim him. Maybe we should, maybe we should not. And this is the ambivalence that we will have to live with. This is Anant Gupta at 22 Yards, signing off this edition. And I look forward to seeing you next time very soon.